Well, here's some real living off the grid real life for you. My batteries went down at my house. 9 o'clock at night, everybody's at home running around with flashlights in the dark. So yeah, this is the stuff that you deal with. This is the behind the scenes of life below zero. It's not all beautiful sunsets and 60-inch bull moose with your daughter. It's a lot of headlamps and battery packs and fixing broken shit. And it's not even 40 below yet, so that's a good thing, I guess. Well, one of those days. So today we're going to talk about off-grid power, and I'll give you just a little review of what I have and why I have it. So built this house probably about 7 or 8 years ago, and we couldn't afford to get power brought, but we decided to get off-grid power because it was a lot cheaper. I think they had a big energy tax rebate, and by the time we were all said and done, we were into our system for roughly $11,000. 5,500 watt inverter, 48 volt system. I think we started with 200 amp hours of storage and 6 solar panels. They're 300 watts each. So that's where we're at, and I've upgraded the system since then with 300 amp hour of storage with Battleborn batteries, which are a lithium-ion battery. Sounds like a great idea. They worked well for about, so I have 12 of those, and they worked well for probably 2 or 3 years, but they have a battery management system in the inside of them called a BMS, and so 12 of those have to interact with one another, and it's hard to keep them equalized, is what I'm trying to say. So between 12 of them, they have all these battery management systems that they're charged by one inverter, a Snyder 5,500 watt inverter called a XW55, and it's hard to keep those batteries equalized. So I had them for a while, and I was supposed to charge them all the way up to 100% with these Victron little chargers that I didn't know about. Battleborn didn't tell me about. Anyways, I put the batteries in, they weren't equalized when I put them in. Batteries didn't last near as long as I thought they would. Battleborn, much to their credit, warranted 8 of my batteries because they didn't tell me about the chargers, and they didn't have a really good procedure, and they still don't have a really good procedure on hooking up a 48 volt system to these batteries. So cut to coming home the other night and all my lights being off and the power being out. We're back at it again with trying to troubleshoot what's going on with these batteries as part of off the grid type stuff. So Santa's been telling me, man, the generator sure seems like it's starting a lot, really frequently, every 5 or 6 hours. And she was the one that was noticing because I was out hunting and running around the whole month of September, and I was like, okay, I'm sure it's something simple. Well, batteries, whole system ended up going down. I had to pull all the batteries off, charge them all individually, bring it back on to have the 48 volts to make my inverter start, and got everything up and running, changed, went through, made sure all my charge control settings were right. And then last night, or this morning about 6, Santa's like, power's out. And so kind of worried, kids, they're upstairs sleeping, you don't want somebody to fall down the stairs, or, you know, waking up middle of the night with no light. So I jumped up, came out here, fired up the generator, turned it to bypass the whole grid. Here I am pulling, I got my killer sheet here from Battleborn to go through all my batteries. I got to charge them all individually, and then I got to document what their voltage is before I charge them, after I'm charged them, what they are when they're sitting after a little while, after being pulled off the charger. And then I got to put a load on the batteries and see how long it takes for them to drop down to 10 volts and how much of a load I'm putting on them for how long. I got to do that for 12 batteries to troubleshoot them to see what the problem is. But what's consistently happening is also when my well pump comes on or different things like that, it's throwing a fault saying F63, which is high voltage. And I think what's happening is my batteries are getting so used up, or you know, there's something's going on with these batteries or the system to where they're not able to handle that spike in amperage. So it's that big draw from the pump kicking on, it just shuts off my whole system. This is part of troubleshooting a off-grid system. And I'm talking to you outside because it's loud in here because my generator's running, but let's go in the shop and see what we're working with here. So I got my 4 batteries here. I got them all labeled. One, 2, 3, 4. And I'll have them all labeled all the way through 12 so I can keep track of the batteries. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to test them. I'm going to get a voltmeter and I'm going to test how many volts these have. They're fully charged with my little Victron charger, and it should be sitting at like 13.5, 13.4. That's how many volts that these batteries should have when they're brand new. Let's see where they're at.
It's so weird how they change like that. I don't know. Okay, number 2. Battery number 2. 12.5. This is after being charged. Battery number 3. This one I think 11.4. The one's not charging very good. Battery. Now that was battery 3. This is battery 4. 11.6. So these things are shy of where they need to be. So
they've cycled roughly 900 to 1,000 times. So, and they say that these batteries are supposed to cycle close to 10,000 times, 8 to 10,000 times with a 10 or 12 year life expectancy. I'm getting 3 years out of them. Now 3 years later, they're sending me a thing saying, once you charge these batteries all the way up, once you get to float, your charger needs to run for an additional 1.5 to 2 hours to equalize the battery. Now, anybody that knows about lithium-ion batteries, their charge rating is why you buy them. So out here in Shagluk, right now, oil prices are $9.50 a gallon for diesel. $9.50 a gallon. So why you go with lithium ion, you spend the money with lithium ion instead of lead acid, is that you could charge them so fast. You could charge them for a 100 amp battery. You could put up to 50 amps into that battery. So your charge rating means you could put half the capacity of the battery into the battery at once. Pumping 100 amps, 90 to 100 amps into that thing, I could charge it from basically down to where the batteries have very limited amount of amperage in the battery. all the way up to 300 amps in 3 hours. So I'm here going through their troubleshoot list, seeing if I get these batteries warranted again for the second time. Pretty disappointing. So what I'm doing here is I'm disconnecting all these batteries, 12 of them. They're in series to make 48 volts. I gotta disconnect them all so I can test the voltage of each one individually. Then I have to charge them with this. This is hooked up to a Victron charger at 14.4 volts. Bring them up and then see what they stay at for a voltage. And then draw them down to 10 volts. The operating range is from 10 volts to 13.5 volts. A lot of these batteries are sitting at 12.5 volts, which means they're not holding 100 amps. Our system's kicking on, kicking off. I gotta get this figured out. Burning fuel at $9.50 a gallon, killing me. So I'm gonna try to find my 8 best batteries. I think I got a few bad batteries that are causing my whole system to kick on and kick off. So I'd rather run 8 good batteries than 12 and then have an intermittent bad one in there, because if you have one bad one, it ruins the whole string. So I'm trying to find my 8 best batteries and run them. Get these sent out for warranty, and in the meantime, be trying to figure out some system is better than this. Okay, now if we go through, these are all charging, so they're not going to give me an accurate reading. If I pull them off the charger, they will. I'll just let those ones charge all the way up. Once they start floating, I'll pick the best batteries. Hopefully all 4 of those are good. So the first 4 that I floated, there's definitely one battery in there that's not near as good. It didn't have a good voltage before I started charging it. And it had a bad voltage after I got done. It did charge all the way. It did bring it to a float, it said. But when it's sitting there after charging, it's only at 11.5 volts. No bueno. Okay. 9 volts. 12 volts. 12 volts. 12 volts. So this 9-volt battery right here, oh man, this thing says 9 volts, the rest of the batteries say 12 volts. Why the hell do you have to go through all the other bullshit of charging this up all the way? It's going to take 5 hours of runtime to charge this piece of shit battery up to nothing, then to drain it back down like I got nothing better to do. Get rid of this 9-volt battery, hook the rest up and keep rolling. I mean, sometimes you just wonder, you know? It's just, there's a difference between the guys that sell it and the guys that do it. Okay, so those 3 batteries are pretty cherry. These things are taking forever to charge. So that's the thing, is when you're trying to bring these batteries back to life, I got these chargers like this, Victron charger, killer volt charger. But this has been in bulk charge for now for 3 hours. I only have 4 of these things. So I got to charge 12 batteries. Last time I did this, I had my generator running for almost 72 hours straight to charge these 12 batteries to get them to float. Sales guy wants me to do it again and then discharge them all individually and write it down. It's like, I don't got time for this shit. Give me some good batteries, or figure out why this thing isn't equalized in my battery. I don't know why my inverter isn't equalizing these batteries. I think there's too many brains. You know, these all have their own BMS, and they're not. One little brain gets a brain part, everybody gets slowed down, and then it just slowly trickles down and kills the battery. You gotta have a battery management system that manages all the batteries. Not each one have their own system. Only thing I could see that would work was having 12 of these Victron things hooked up to 12 batteries, and then after I get done running my generator, I use my battery power
instead of wasting all my time letting these Victron things build all these things back up, these are 12. These are 12, 30, 12, 12.2. They're all pretty damn close. I'm already dealing with jeopardized stuff. I gotta get this system up and running and be charging these batteries off of these diesel instead of just running that generator 24/7 burning fuel. So what I see right now is I got 2 batteries that are bad. 2 bad batteries. That one, number 9. Number 3, they're going to Battleborn first. Those are my warranty batteries. Then I'm going to run 8 batteries because I can't run 10. You gotta make 48 volts. So you gotta run 4. 12. 4 times 12, 48. So even if I have 10 batteries, 2 of them are going to have to sit on the bench. So I'm going to run 8 of these, see if I can get this system running. I'm going to put it back together. Alright, I got my 8 batteries hooked up. Got to hook up this final lead. Alright. Back feels like I've been bent over for a while. Got all 8 hooked up. Just gonna run 8 batteries. I got two that are really bad. And I think that they're shorting out kind of whenever there's a big load. I'm gonna find out right now. I'm gonna try to turn on my inverter. My inverter needs 48 volts to turn on. So I click on my switch. I shut off anything that can put power to my system. You shut off before you work on your batteries. So that's my solar. I shut those off. My inverter, I shut that off. Okay, my Schneider came on. This is back on. Now I switch one of these, and this puts it to. This makes it where I'm bypassing everything. I'm running power straight to my house. I click it over, then I'm running power through my batteries to end in my house. Power to it. I'm charging 90, 89, 90 amps. So hopefully that works. It's just a Monday with me fixing off the grid power during this rainy day. Jeez, can't go out. Just pouring rain all day today. On it, the bummer thing is now I only have 200 amps of storage instead of 300. And by the time I ship these down, they do the diagnosis, they ship them back. That's at least a month. So it's a lot of downtime, it's a lot of fuel. Something I wasn't planning for, but you know, what the hell? What are you gonna do, you know? That's all I could do. So hope that these 8 batteries here hold up good and go from there. So that's a little bit of troubleshooting a 48 volt system with lithium ion batteries. If you have any great ideas or questions, put it down in the comments. Like the video. Appreciate all the new subscribers. Yeah, living in rural Alaska, man. That's what it's all about. Got the power back on. Life's good. Remember, all you need is a wood stove and an outhouse, and you'll be all right.